Hey everybody, welcome back to this week's episode of Heroes and Videos. We're going to be looking at some new comics I picked up last week. If you stick around to the end of the video, we're going to be talking about DC's latest event and the latest edition of that, or installment of that. It is something else. I'm very excited about that. And also a Marvel and two books, a Marvel book and a DC book that are having a similar setup, but handling it a little differently. So I'm very excited to talk about that. Please hit like if you would. If you want to wait to the end of the video to decide if you want to hit like, that's fine. I understand. I hope you do. Please stick around. Please hit notifications. Subscribe to the channel. Would love to have you on board so you get notified anytime I have some new content up. With that, let's get right into it. First up is Detective Comics 1103. This is a variant cover. I just love some of these variant covers DC's putting out. We'll have a Superman one here a little later in the video. This one's the this No Fear storyline that's going on. I have not read Detective Comics regularly in years, literally, and I started picking it up with 1101. The storyline that's going on right now, it had some Mr. Terrific in it. This issue has got Lois Lane teaming up with Batman. Love the dynamic with the with some of those major DC heroes now, where just like back in the 70s, you know, it seems like, other than like Lois knowing Clark Kent Superman, the heroes know each other, you know. So that dynamic, Lois Lane, you know, is going on some helping with some detective work with Batman. So that's just a cool dynamic and cool vibe. I'm really enjoying that detective storyline going on right now. Speaking of the world's best detective, we've got a few detectives in this one. This is Arcadia. This is a DC Black Label book. Full disclosure, this is the one book of these I have not read yet, but glancing over it, it looks very much like a throwback to those Denny O'Neil, Dennis Cowan Question comics, and I want to say in the 80s, mid to late 80s, maybe early 90s. Oliver Queen as Green Arrow from like maybe the Longbow Hunters, Mike Grell phase there. Batman also very Denny O'Neil like, you know, he's got a 5 o'clock shadow there. Just some great street level heroes working together to fight crime. It looks fantastic. It's just a great throwback to that 80s era with the Dennis Cowan, I think I'm pronouncing that correct, and Denny O'Neil. Next up is the Undead Iron Fist. So Danny Rand is back, or is he? This is the Undead Iron Fist, another variant cover. That seems to be a theme with me here lately. I believe this is a mini because it's set up that way. It feels like each issue is taking you one more step towards the conclusion. To borrow a line from Firesign Theater, maybe everything you know is wrong. So I'm not sure if this is going to unveil a whole new paradigm for the Iron Fist. I don't know. I just enjoy reading Danny Rand Iron Fist books, and so I'm glad there's another one coming out, or that one's coming out. Next up is the Mortal Thor. This is a bit of a departure for this book. The Immortal Thor was the last volume of this. The first 3 issues of this book have dealt with a Thor, a Sigurd Jarlson. That'll take you guys back to the Simonson era of the Thor comic, where Thor appears to be immortal, not immortal, living in New York City. So this is a bit of a departure, because this number 4 takes us to Asgard for Tale of Asgard. You see Ulick there on the cover. There's the Enchantress is in this book, I think, though that might be, honestly can't tell if that's Carnilla or the Enchantress there. I've read the book. I'm going to say it's the Enchantress, but it is an enjoyable book and a nice little morality tale. You know, one and done. Where I love comics that, you know, have a message, which is kind of cool as well. And I've got a soft spot for Ulick too, which sounds really weird now that I said it out loud. So the 2 books I referred to earlier, the Marvel and DC comics that have kind of a similar vibe going on right now, is Justice League Unlimited. It's a DCKO tie-in, and so I'm just referring to the current tie-in storyline there, and Battle World, which is a Marvel mini that's out. And again, this is not a variant cover. So the storyline here, or the what's it called? What's the word I'm looking for? The setup is that a character has pulled all these different Marvel characters together on this battle world, right? Very much kind of like Secret Wars, but not on that grand a scale. And it's very much like the old Avengers Forever mini, where that Kurt Busiek did years ago, where you've got Avengers from all sorts of different timelines, right? You've got some from the future, some from the past, some from the present, and they're all thrown together, and it's neat to see how they interact. That's what this book's about too. You've got Carol Danvers here in her Warbird phase, where I want to say she's a recovering alcoholic at that point, or at least around the time that Kurt Busiek and George Perez were doing the book. We're doing Avengers. We've got Spider-Man in here from, I think Peter Parker's only been Spider-Man a few weeks at this point, probably just after Uncle Ben's died. We've got Bucky from World War II. We've got King Thor from the future, where Thor is basically the All-Father. We've got Luke Cage from his Sweet Christmas yellow shirt tiara wearing phase. Two of the more fascinating characters in this are Jan the Wasp and Hank Pym, and I don't recall exactly which Jan it is, other than it's not the regular Marvel 616 current present day Jan, but the Hank Pym it is, and so it's interesting the dynamic between the two of them in this book. It's some of the best Hank Pym stuff that I've seen in years, just in terms of the character's insight and just some of the dialogue and back and forth between them. It may be because they're not from the same, from the same time or same Earth that makes it so interesting. Starbrand from the New Universe is in this as well. I feel like I'm missing at least one or two Marvel characters in here. Danielle Moonstar from New Mutants is in here also, and so it's a really good book. Very impressed with the Hank Pym interactions. Not as impressed with some of the other. I feel like we're missing some opportunities with some of those other characters interacting. But very good read nonetheless. And the Justice League Unlimited, I don't want to give away too much here, but Mr. Terrific here is, from present day, our current world. The other 9 of the Terrific 10 are not. We're looking at, we've got Power Girl, we've got a future Alan Scott, Green Lantern, we've got Superman from his Electric Blue phase, we've got Batman, but I believe it's I don't believe it's Terry McGinnis. Is that his name? The Batman Beyond. And so there's a Hawkman in here. There's an Owl Woman. These characters are. I don't know as many of them from the eras that they're coming from. So maybe that's why it didn't hit the same way as the Marvel one for me. But I really enjoy these characters and what this is much more to the point. The Battle World one's kind of meandering a little bit in the story, the way they present it. The Justice League Unlimited is good in terms of its, we've got to do X, and then they go do X, and then, characters putting themselves on the line for each other. The conceit here is they're all pulled from a very specific moment in time, and it's heartbreaking in the last issue when they talk about exactly what that means. But 2 great books, enjoying both of those, Battle World and Justice League Unlimited. Justice League Unlimited is tying into the KO event that we're going to talk about in a minute. But first, we're going to talk about Absolute Batman, number 14. This is the climactic issue, the end of this storyline with Bane. And it's just something else. You see there, Bane, the enormous size Killer Croc there wrapped around him. Batman above with that absolutely bad battle axe. So I'm trying to keep it kid friendly. This is really good story. I love this. I talked about earlier, like wanting to have a storyline with a great theme, a great message, if you will. And this is one of those ultimate heroic messages in this, in terms of what a hero will or won't do to win or survive or to triumph. And it's just I loved it. There's some twists and turns, stuff I didn't see coming. It's set the next storyline, which just looks like it's going to be something else. But yeah, highly recommend Absolute Batman. Get on board if you're not reading it already. Go back and read the whole run. It's something else. Almost at the end here was Superman 32. Love these David Aja covers. DC, was just gonna, so just like take my money. If you want to put this guy's covers on everything, I'm there, because I just love the simplicity of his work and what he's doing here. There's a whole series of these. I think you've seen them on earlier episodes of the channel, but this one ties into DCKO. A great event. We're going to talk about it more here in just a moment. But great tie-ins complement the event, but you don't have to have them. And this is one of them. The Superman's been very good tying into that leading up to the event, and even that one gives you some insight into some things that happened in the last issue of DCKO when you're wondering like, well, hey, wait, how did that happen, or where did they come from, right? Again, trying to stay spoiler free. That fills in some questions you might have had from the first issue of DCKO number 1. This is DCKO number 2. This is that acetate cover. Sorry, I've got it bagged already. Through there, you open the cover and you see the full piece of art, which includes some statues of some folks that didn't make the first round, but there's 4 folks on the cover here that did make it to that final to the initial 32. You see Wonder Woman. We've got Lobo in the background, Harley Quinn, and our guy Superman here in the foreground. So those are 4 of the 32 that made it. In this issue, I don't think it's any spoiler to know, this thing's a tournament, so we get winnowed down from 32 to 16 in this issue. It's just a blast. It's just some great battles in this book, some great back and forth. The dialogue, the art, everything is just I'm loving this book. I'm going to do a deep dive, I think, maybe even be looking not panel to panel or page to page even on the first and second issues before the third one comes out. I have a feeling that some of the tie-ins that are going to be coming out this month are going to be more in depth with some of the battles that you see in here, but just some things I did not expect, like the page after page of wow, wasn't expecting that. So it's just a great fun event, and honestly, it'd be great if you read the all-in special, if you read a couple of those specials leading up to this featuring Booster Gold, Time Trapper. There's some characters that are showing up again in Superman. Reading those would be great, but if you just pick up with DCKO 1 and 2, you're going to have a good time. So that's my 2 cents, or $2 or whatever these things are costing now. A little more than that, but let me know what you're reading in the comments. That's all we have this week. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Would love to hear what you think of those books, and would love to hear what you're reading. If you're reading something that I'm not talking about, let me know, and maybe I'll pick it up and we can put it on the channel. So again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I should have probably mentioned that at the beginning of the episode. I'm super thankful for family and friends, and for everybody out there at Heroes and Videos. I appreciate you spending some time with us. Keep reading comics, keep going to see movies in theaters, and be kind to each other.